Chris, what is our fourth topic today?
Our fourth topic is coming from Oliver. Did you guys see that the stench of Bob Chapek is still haunting Disney? Whoa, Oliver coming in hot. Reports are saying that he's going to get a cool $20 million from Disney on his way out the door. Seems kind of expensive for a guy you fired. Wanted to hear your thoughts since I know you're such a huge Bob Chapek fan.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. You know, like, here's the thing. So yeah, the tale of Bob Chapek continues. That even though he is no longer CEO of Disney, the remnants, the fallout, if you will, is still there. Now, I got a few things to say about Chapek. First, listen, you guys know, full revealing here. I was very pro his hiring when they first hired him. On paper, it was the right hire. It's much the same way I felt about the Kathleen Kennedy. When George Lucas picked Kathleen Kennedy to be the head of Lucasfilm, it was the right hire. On paper, it was the right hire. Now, things in life on paper can be one way, but then maybe they don't work out. And I think in the case of Kathleen Kennedy, didn't work out. In the case of Bob Chapek, did not work out. So obviously we all know about the drama of him being fired and going out the door. But I remember the day we talked about on the show when it was announced that he was gone, I said on the show, don't you worry about Bobby Paycheck. He's going to have a golden parachute and he's going to be just fine. This comes from the folks over at CNN who wrote the following. Ousted, by the way, he's still rocking that beard. You got to give him, man, he rocks that beard. Anyway, ousted Disney chief executive Bob Chapek is set to receive a hefty paycheck following his exit. The Walt Disney Company said the former CEO, who took over in February of 2020 after longtime CEO Bob Iger retired, is eligible to take home a severance package worth roughly $20 million, according to a regulatory filing on Tuesday. That is in addition to the $24 million he made last year, his $2.5 million base salary plus millions in stock options and awards. That's down from the $32.5 million that he made in 2021. Mm-hmm. All right.
Some people have a hard landing.
Yeah, it must be rough. Must be rough. You gonna be okay? You gonna be all right there, Bob?
I hope he can cover his debts.
Look, everybody knows I grew to detest his leadership of Disney. I mean, he turned Disney from one of my favorite companies to the laughable shit show that company is today. Thank God Big Papa Iger's back, because if anybody can turn that crap show of Disney around, it's him, because he's the man. But I was very quickly became a anti-fan of Bob Chapek with his decisions that he started to make all throughout. I was really disillusioned as a fan, and I thought he was just driving them totally in the wrong direction. That being said, all right, I never once doubted that every stupid decision he made thinking it was the right decision for the company, right? I never once doubted or thought that Bob Chapek is trying to destroy Disney. No, I never doubted for a second, because from all reports I've ever heard, he's a likable guy. He's a nice guy. And, he made decisions that, yes, were stupid, but he made those being motivated thinking this was right for the company. He was trying to take the company in the right direction. He was just wrong. He was wrong. And he was making the wrong decisions. So I have no problem. This might surprise you. I have no problem that he's getting. Listen, he just signed a 3-year extension. He had just signed a 3-year extension. So guess what? You signed me to a 3-year extension, and then you want me gone 4 months later? You're going to pay me.
Yep.
You're going to pay me. And so this might shock a lot of people, because I think I got some messages from people this morning saying, oh, I can't wait to hear Campea go off on how dare they get, you know what? What does he always say, Rob?
You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate.
And he negotiated well. And I am glad he's gone. And at the same time, he's getting compensated for the fact that, hey, we had this deal. We signed it. This is part of the deal. I get that $20 million. And you know what? I have no issue with it. And I wish Bob Chapek As much as I did not like him as the CEO of Disney, I wish him all the best. I hope he lands on his feet. I hope he's able to continue to do work and maybe take another company in a good direction, as long as it's not at Disney. But good for him. I don't know. Rob, you heard and read about the story. What do you think?
You know, the money aside, I understand it's what he gets. That's what CEOs get. Disney it's a singular company. I know it's hard for people like, well, myself, to think about money in those kind of terms. However, when I was working at Curdy Peller in the early aughts, Bob Chapek was very instrumental in developing home video and DVD and what they did with that. They've really adopted DVD quickly and special features. They did a great job and Chapek was there for that. I feel bad for the guy, and I don't know him. Forget the money. He was a lifer at Disney. That was his world. I mean, he was there for decades. Now, I don't know why. I still don't quite understand bad decisions coming out of a pandemic. He was dealt a crappy hand, but he was just dumped. I mean, a guy that gave so much of his life. I mean, think about a human life in terms of how much time do you get on this planet? He devoted his life to Disney. And at the end, he winds up the dumped CEO who was dumped while he was watching Elton John. Had no idea it was coming. And I don't know the man, but just from a storytelling standpoint, not a great ending for somebody who gave his life to a company. Now, people can say he was compensated for money, and that's one thing. But you know what? I don't think when Bob Chapek started his journey at Disney, he's thinking, I'm going to leave this job and take $20 million with me. When he started, I know he cared about what he did. And I just think about it in those kind of terms. I understand, maybe I'm a romantic, but I just can't, like, what does he think about? I worry about Bob Chapek when he gets up in the morning.
But listen.
I hope he's a happy man.
I understand that. But
you know what I mean?
I look at it from a little bit of a different perspective. How many people, because let's be honest, there's a lot of lifers at Disney.
I know.
Right? A lot of lifers. How many of them got to sit on the throne?
Not many. I know.
Bob
that's
Iger
true.
and Bob Chapek, right?
Absolutely true.
And listen, it reminds me of House of the Dragon with Viserys saying, careful when you sit on the throne, because sitting on that throne could kill you. And the reality was, while it is unfortunate that his story at Disney ended that way,
I know.
he was the CEO of Disney.
Yes.
It may have ended badly. But guess what? 15 years from now, as he's sitting at a social dinner table, he's got the best story. I was CEO of Disney. And he did get compensated very well. But the reality, unfortunately, was, yeah, he was a lifer. And yes, I think he wanted what was best for Disney. But the reality was he was taking Disney in radically the wrong direction. And at some point, the shareholders and the board have to go, we can't do this anymore. And we need to change directions. But anyway, Chris, you hear about this. I mean, not many people know that when I ultimately eventually fired Jonathan Voico, he's got to
do too many Batman movies.
$25 Cheesecake Factory card for him, ready to go. But I don't know. You hear about this. What do you think?
I mean, of course, no one goes into a job wanting to do a bad job, poor job, whatever. But on that lifer track of that kind of, oh, poor Bob Chapek, I was reading up in Business Insider. You know how much money he makes? 446 times more than the average Disney employee, who makes about $55,000 a year. So that's all I'm going to say on this.
Yeah, don't feel too bad. Don't feel too bad for Bob.
I know.
I love that you want everyone to be happy, but I think he's going to be okay.
Look, man, he is going to be okay. But I just am saying that,
Remember, that's $20 million on top of all the other money he got. Like he's just being given $20 million as a party bag as he leaves the event.
It's actually about 24 to 25.
But he's still somebody who
right.
He didn't even get like a production deal. He got nothing. He's gone.
But he's not a producer. He's like that's the thing.
I know
he's not any of those things.
I know.
But he's
just like,
he's a coin counter.
I guess he'll get another job.
Oh, he will.
Or he doesn't have to work a day in his life.
Yeah.
You know, if I was him, I'd be playing PlayStation all day for the rest of my life. I don't know. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? It looks like the closing chapters of Bob Chapek's run at Disney are now here. He's going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of $20+ million as a severance, which, you know what?
Sitting on a beach.
God bless him for getting
20%.
it. He earned it. So what do you guys think about it? Whatever you think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Rocket Money. Do you know how much your subscriptions cost? Most Americans think they spend around $80 a month on subscriptions, when the actual total is closer to $200. If you don't know exactly how much you're spending every month, you need Rocket Money. When I started using Rocket Money, I couldn't believe how many things I was still paying for. Ann and I haven't lived in Burbank for almost 2 years, and I didn't realize I was still paying for a gym membership in Burbank for 2 years. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills, all in one place. Over 80% of people have subscriptions that they've forgotten about, like that streaming service you bought to watch just one show on, or that free trial that you never even used, or like me, a gym membership in Burbank. Simply find the subscriptions you don't want and press cancel, and Rocket Money will cancel it for you. So stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/Campea. That's rocketmoney.com/Campea.